So at the beginning of the year, I was super amped. I wanted to hit the ground running on all of these major plans and all of this new year, new me, crushing it. And I have been crushing it in some areas and dropping the ball pretty hardcore in other areas. One area I have been dropping the ball would be in my housekeeping skills, which surprises absolutely no one. It is my favorite ball to drop the moment I have the opportunity, but I have been losing weight. I am down almost 5.5 pounds. It's 5.4. And also, a metric I'm super interested in is my body fat, which is down 1.6%. I'm pretty excited about that. One area I have been also doing well would be keeping my bedroom clean. I have been making my bed every day, and that is a lot more picked up than we usually see my bedroom. And moving into my bathroom, it's a disaster. Totally dropped the ball here. A place that I have been doing well is with skincare. I bought a bunch of different products. I don't know if they're great. I don't know if they are the exact ones I need, but I am just excited to be doing something for my skin that is beyond going to bed with my makeup on, which I did for like 37 years. And a place that I've been messing up, there's a lot of half-done projects that are just sitting out in my home right now, so that's not great. But a place that I feel really great is in my measurements. I am using measurements as my favorite metric to show me how I'm doing. We all know that muscle weighs more than fat, so I like to see where I am decreasing in size, even if my weight plateaus and I just stay one weight for a while. I decided to set you guys up. Let's do a little kitchen tidy and chitty chat so we can talk about how the past 2 weeks have been going. The first week went extremely well. I was proud of my progress and my focus. And then the second week, I kind of tried to pull myself out of a downward spiral. I do think that this is mostly clutter and trash that I haven't thrown away. Usually when we see my kitchen clearly destroyed, it is more of so many dishes, so much trash. It's just like gross. But this was more clutter. That's my son showing you that he wrote subscribe on his iPad, which you can't see, but he was so happy to show that to you. So here, there's actually just like one sink full of dishes and just a ton of stuff that I have not put away. I did a very large cooking day and got exhausted and chose not to be a grown-up and handle my mess, but to kind of collapse in on myself. I have mentioned before that I have twins that are autistic, and really it's incredible. Our day-to-day is not awful that a lot of people seem to think. We have been blessed to have children who are verbal, and I actually can trust them to be unsupervised for amounts of time, and that is also unexpected. That wasn't something that we were told was going to be a part of our life when we first got our diagnosis, and I am so grateful and blessed for how far we have actually come. Now, as a stay-at-home mom and a homeschooler, I am really surrounded by myself. So I know that my day-to-day prep work, all of the extra little things that I have to put in to my children, those are just normal. That's not anything additional. So our girls do have braces. Sonia has had her braces on slightly longer than Sammy, so Sammy sees what is coming up next for her. And one of those things that she was very concerned with is these metal brackets that are placed in the back of her mouth to help with an overbite. She has been deeply concerned about these brackets, concerned that maybe they would turn her into a robot, which is a very valid fear for her. Even though it does seem silly to us, she has been quite scared of this moment. Now, we have been prepping her that it was going to happen, taking her to the orthodontist, and then they will tell us that the equipment is not in, and so I have to tell her that that's not going to happen today, and she feels intense relief. Then I prep her that this thing's going to happen. She gets extraordinarily anxious for the next appointment, and when we get there, they still don't have the pieces. This has lasted several months. Well, the device finally arrived at the dentist, and she was prepped. We're like, it's happening. It's not going to not happen. This is something that, brace yourself, baby. And so she was managing quite well, I have to say. She did have quite a bit of trepidation. She told me when we got there that she was very scared. And so what she wanted to do, she had her iPad, she had her headphones, and she wanted to pace. Pacing is a massive stim for her. Stim is just short for self-stimulating behavior. We all kind of do it, but people on the spectrum do it to a much more pronounced degree. It is self-soothing behaviors that now you can really see that she's doing it. She wants to pace back and forth and think about her music and just kind of self-soothe. Well, our appointment was very early in the morning on a school day, which is extraordinarily popular for all of the kids getting braces because the moms want to get them to be out of school the least amount of time possible. And so we have a very busy waiting room. Sammy wants to pace, but there are two dads sitting in the area that she could potentially pace, and she gets overwhelmed and self-conscious and won't do it. So I chose to approach the two dads and say, listen, my daughter is very anxious. She would like to be able to use this space to walk back and forth. I am so deeply apologetic that I have to ask this of you, but would you guys mind moving off to the side? There are other chairs over here. Would you just please relocate? And they were amazing. They were so kind. One of the dads understood immediately, and he's like, yes, I remember being anxious when I was little getting braces. This can be a very big deal. And so everybody was amazing about it. Where my big spiral starts happening is I look up in this very busy waiting room, and it is just a sea of very understanding faces that were filled with pity. I haven't experienced that in so long that my life and my child's life is something to be viewed with pity and sadness. And there was genuine compassion there. And I'm grateful. I love the support that I saw in there, but I hated everybody's face. I hated the fact that I do have a life that other people can look at with pity. I don't know. I feel that most of the people that I talk to who have kids on the autism spectrum is that our lives are not pitiful. It's just normal. This is just how it goes. We're so used to it. We live in our normalcy that it's not a pitiful event. It's just parenting. And it was one of those moments where I thought, oh, that's just how I view it. And basically, for the rest of my life, I will experience moments of being absolutely pitied. And it just hurt. It was hard. I was trying very hard not to cry at the orthodontist. I was texting my best friend about it. And it feels like such a weird thing to have bother you. The fact that other people's compassion was so distasteful for me in the moment. It's so hard to explain how I felt, but it just sucked me into this spiral of self-pity. It sucked me down into the spiral of self-pity. Now, where I am proud of myself and where I feel like I accomplished quite a bit was that I did not abandon everything. Typically, when I feel myself backsliding, I just slide back as far as humanly possible. I'm like, oh, we want to go in a downward spiral? Let's do it as downward as we could possibly get. I will not cook. I will not clean. I won't do any self-care. I'm going to tell my kids that YouTube can educate them. I will just completely dissociate and sit on the couch for as long as I need, which can be days, which can be weeks. This time I focused. I got myself up. I did my 2 workouts per day. I drank my gallon of water. I read my 10 pages of the self-help book. I took my kids to a homeschool meetup. I had them do their schoolwork, and we only ordered in food once each of those weeks, which was my goal. I am allowing myself 1 day of ordering in per week, and not in a way of leaning into my laziness, but as like a little bit of a blessing or grace for myself, where I'm like, here's a day that it would just be better if I wasn't cooking. Let's order in pizza. It's always pizza. Some of those days I would have failed. I would have fudged on it. I told my husband, I said, let's order in. And he said, no, we have very simple meals that we can prepare at home. And then he made those meals. So if I didn't have him supporting that specific goal, I would have failed at that. I think I would have ordered in a little bit more frequently, but he really held me to task. And I very much appreciate, not only did he keep me on my goal for that, but he did it by doing the work for me. He didn't just say, no, they're simple foods, get off the couch and do it. He said, no, they're simple foods, and I will do it for you. Another goal that I managed to accomplish this time was film editing and uploading 2 videos per week. I still am so new at this. I don't have a backlog. I film, edit, and upload, and that video is the video that I have in my backlog. Then I start fresh to get it done for you by my next posting date. I have this wild goal of eventually having a backlog, but that does not seem possible at this moment. Some of my videos that I tried to film a cooking video. It went so terribly sideways. It's amazing. Maybe I'll do a compilation of how terrible that was and upload that for you sometime, but it was pretty wretched. So I am proud that I managed to accomplish those goals, and I am trying to give myself grace over the housekeeping goals. I am concerned that I am giving myself so much grace over my housekeeping goals that I will never actually do the goals. I will just keep saying, oh, nope, give myself grace. Everything turns horrific. Oh, no, I'll give myself grace. So I do think I've been doing 2 weeks of my new goals. I have been very successful at some of them. And so now I am going to add in that extra pressure for my next goals. I do think I will try to maybe keep it pretty small, where I will make sure my kitchen is clean at the end of the night. Who cares what happens to the rest of the house? It can turn into whatever disaster that it tends to go into, but I will have a clean kitchen. Maybe after a couple weeks of that being a very solid thing that I just do by nature, weirdly enough, making my bed is something that I just do now. I thought it was a stupid goal. I hated it. Everyone says that you have to do it if you want to be a productive, reasonable human, along with drinking water. It's make your bed, drink water, then you're going to be a productive human. And now it's just something I do. I make my bed every single day, and it feels good. So maybe if I lean into just having my kitchen tidied at the end of the night, if I force myself to do it enough, it will turn into a very natural thing that I feel works. I am also going to follow a homemaking, house cleaning system, but it was out of grasp so far, and that's fine with me. But I don't think I'm going to give myself leeway anymore. Now here, I was just going to tidy my kitchen, and you see me going on a weird side quest where I absolutely have to wipe down these counters and my dishwasher. That was just me chasing a little bit of dopamine. It felt good to do. It was not in my plan, but happy that I did it. So, tidy kitchen, feeling pretty great about that. The last thing I wanted to show you is a little bit of proof that I have been doing my 2 workouts per day. It's been monitored by my Apple Watch, which I am very excited to announce that I did manage to close all 3 rings for 7 days in a row. That is a goal that I have been working towards for several years, and I finally accomplished it this year. If you look at it, there are 2 days that I haven't closed my rings, and really what happened there was I forgot to put on my watch until noon. Here is my 75 hard. That is proof that I actually did that. I am really proud of myself for what I accomplished for these 2 weeks. I am excited to see how far you have come in 2 weeks. Have we been making ourselves 1% better every single day? I bet you have. I am so proud of whatever you've done. If you've accomplished goals, if you've dropped those balls, just pick them up. We are not looking for perfection. We are just looking for progress. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video. I love you. Bye.